Hey guys. Whew, out of breath because I'm running. If you're just joining me, I'm just wandering up to the bridge on 1806. Just seen a very large group of peaceful female water protectors heading up to that barricade. So wanted to jump out here and try and let you guys know what's happening. Sorry, this is a horrible live stream to start. Just bear with me, because I literally did it and I saw that heading out. So if you're just joining now, you're going to know that running around when it's really cold gets you out of breath really quickly when you're 38 and not very fit. I'm just heading up the hill now to try and make sure I catch whatever happens here for you guys, as always. Again, this is peaceful, unarmed water protectors. This looks like this is an all feminine led. It's a feminine led group. As I get up here, I will go ahead and try and find out from some people exactly what this is. If you struggle to hear me, I apologise. There's a very bitter wind here today. So I'm just getting up to the top of the hill. I'll go as close as I can for you guys without losing signal. As you'll see right now, looks like everyone's just forming up peacefully, as always. As you're coming in, feel free to share this. This wind is better. So as you're coming in, yeah. See how much closer we can get without losing service. Unfortunately, it's very hard for you to be able to hear what's happening. But you might be able to hear, but you'll hear me, but you can't hear what's happening necessarily. So I'm about at the point where I was live streaming when 4.5 million of you were watching. So we should be good. That was me, guys. Sorry, I hit the wrong button. See the beginning to walk down towards the bridge right now. Peacefully, unarmed, majority female water protectors. Looks like it is just female. Thank you for everyone who's joining all over the world. Just to show you what the bridge now looks like. You'll notice the difference from the other night where all the concrete barriers have been put up. You'll see the peaceful as you'll see right now, once again, peaceful unarmed water protectors are stood in prayer, in peace. Thank you, Ireland, for joining. Please share the countries you come in, just so we can see how much support there is from all over the world. Yeah, that's right. Blessings to the sister warriors. Yes, you're right. You do hear "do not cross the bridge." That's what they have been. The announcement that just came out, if you couldn't hear it, was calling this trespass, asking to move to the south of the bridge. I can't tell you why it's trespass on the bridge and why 100 feet back the other way it's not trespass. As you can see, very, very peaceful. Female water protectors. No, you're fine. Thank you for asking. If it shakes a little bit, I'm just trying to find a glove for my other hand because it's not work, I guess. It is a public road. It's a public road. You are correct. But if you look at the public road, it can't go very far. There's a bunch of Humvees in the way. There's should be another glove somewhere. Yeah, there's one in the pocket. A little one. Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. My focus went out. I've got a very kind gentleman here actually helping me put a glove on. Thank you. So people are saying it's a right of way. It's a public road. You are perfectly correct. It's a public road, but how do people drive through concrete and Humvees and lines and lines and lines of police cars? Not to mention the razor wire. So I would ask you, who's blocking the public road? It's prayerful, peaceful, unarmed water protectors. This is at the Backwater Bridge, the same place the other night on Sunday and Monday morning where you saw those terrible atrocities committed against peaceful water protectors. You saw the concussion grenades. You saw the tear gas that was fired. You held the LRP, the noise cannon. You saw the water cannons used at below freezing temperatures. These people are standing up for their rights. How is it trespass for them to be on the bridge, yet the militarized police force can block it off entirely? Imagine an EMS trying to get through there. There is no way. That's a very interesting point. Thank you for that comment. In fact, those of you that didn't hear, people did call. There was a call for an ambulance on Sunday night, Monday morning that was recorded as a SoundCloud on my page, where you hear the Morton County refusing to send ambulance. They said they're already there, and they weren't. They refused to send protection for the assaults being committed by the officers. And the question was, if you're being assaulted by an officer, who do you call when the people that you're calling are the people making the assaults? Yeah, please do keep sharing, keep saying where you're coming from all across the world. We ask you to stand in prayer. Wherever you are right now, maybe you can light some sage. Maybe you can sit down for a minute and meditate. Send peace, healing and protection to these people.
Unarmed people. Down there below you have women in white in solidarity, protesting in peace of this achievement of humanity. Men and women alike.
If you notice there's white flags, as you all know universally, what does a white flag mean? Don't shoot me, unarmed. No tear gas has been fired just now. Please burn some Palo Santo where you are. Absolutely. Sit down and meditate. Sit down and pray. Listen to the Creator. Listen to the earth. Hear the cries for stopping raping the earth, for stopping stealing the sacred lands, for stop downtreading people's way of life, for stop treating people as less than human just because of their beliefs, their colour of their skin. This is about a new beginning. This is a way that we can all come together in love. We can get rid of all hate. We can get rid of all violence by understanding when we stand together in love and we send love and protection and forgiveness to even those people that commit the heinous acts, those people that were firing the tear gas, those people that were abusing the peaceful, unarmed water protectors. By sending the love and forgiveness, by helping open those hearts, we can all change the world right in this moment. By looking into your hearts and listening with your hearts. By understanding the only way forward is to show love. It's to no longer judge. To no longer have judgment based on colour of skin, based on beliefs. Realize that we all come from the dirt and we all go back to the dirt. No matter how much money you have or how little money you have, when you leave this place you take none of it with you. We are all equal. And no matter what was said the other day was no matter what people do to these physical bodies, they cannot break the spirit, they cannot damage the soul, for the soul's eternal. So if you're just joining, this is a peaceful, unarmed group of female water protectors who are carrying out a prayer, meditation, whatever you want to call it in your language, on the very site that the atrocities happened on Sunday night, Monday morning. This is the very place that someone was hit in the face with a rubber bullet and may well lose the sight in their right eye. This is the very place where at 4:30 on that Monday morning, a concussion grenade was used, and the end result was the mutilation of a 21-year-old's arm, who now has had, to my knowledge, 3 operations, one of which was 6 to 8 hours taking muscle from her back to try and cover the hole in her arm, taking ligaments and tendons and arteries from other parts of her body to try and save that arm. Her name is Sophia Walensky. If you're praying now, remember her in prayers. The girl that was shot in the face goes by Susie, has been here since September. She was a frontline medic. She is a native person who was singled out for this abuse. Again, may lose the sight in her right eye. Please pray for these people when you're watching this. Please send them protection. Please send them healing. Those things I saw that night will never leave my mind. Those pictures that you've all seen, they never leave you. They scar you. But you can choose to be broken by those scars, or you can choose to find strength in those scars and stand and protect what you believe in. Stand up for your rights. Stand up for your right for protest, for free speech. Become a water protector. Come here and join. There's now around 10,000 people at the camp. This camp has swelled in numbers ever since those atrocities happened. Thank you for joining Mandy. Thank you for everyone who's watching. Please let us know exactly where you are in the world. Try and keep the comments positive and peaceful, please. As I said, this is a peaceful, prayerful. This is a spiritual battle. If any of you watched yesterday, the event Unify did, if you go to praywithstandingrock.com, you can register for the future events. These are synchronized global meditations all over the world, with over 40,000 people all meditating and praying for Standing Rock in over 400 locations. Today we're praying here with Standing Rock, for Standing Rock, not for ourselves, but for the future generations, so they may come to a planet where they can still fish in the rivers, where they can still drink the water from the rivers. And anyone who's watching here who's talking about this is wrong, let me just ask you all a question. And this is a question any of you, when you have a conversation, I would invite you to ask anyone. Because in years to come, this is a point in history. And there will be a point one day when you're sat with your grandchild on your knee. And they're going to turn around to you and ask you about this day at this time. And they're going to ask you what you were doing to make sure that the land was protected, to make sure the water was protected. You have two ways you can have that conversation. You can sit down with those people, your grandchild, on your knee, when they ask you why they can't fish in the rivers anymore. And you can say, I did everything that I could. I stood with those people. I supported those people. I told the story. I did everything I could to protect your future. And unfortunately, it didn't work. But I tried. Or you can sit down with that grandchild on your knee and you can say, you know, at the time, I was one of the people holding the water cannon. I was one of the people that was against this action, against this peaceful protest. And I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry what we did and what we allowed to happen in our name and what we supported, the big oil companies and the profit. And I've reached my older years and I realized what I did at that time was wrong and I was misguided. And I can't change that now. All I can do is apologize to you. So which story do you want to tell your grandchildren? Because I know the story I'm going to be telling my grandchildren. Thank you, Vancouver, Washington. And remember, at this time, at Standing Rock at Oceti Sakowin Camp, there are over 400 different nations. And I'll correct myself because in the past I've mentioned the word tribe. The word tribe was given by the white conquerors to the Native Americans. But the Native Americans all have sovereign nations. There's over 400 of those nations here, stood alongside their white allies, all standing up for what we believe in. These people are from all walks of life. I've spoken to doctors, I've spoken to journalists, I've spoken to actors and actresses, I've spoken to singers and songwriters. I've spoken to ex-correspondents from the Iraq War. I've spoken to kids the age of 3 who understand more about what's going on than half the people do. I've spoken to grandfathers and grandmothers. I've spoken from people from New Zealand, Australia, Papua New Guinea, France, Russia, England, Scotland, Canada, all over America. I'm sure there's some places I've not listed. And then the people that are watching all over the world right now. We are love, we are water, you are correct. We're all made of the same sacred water. Yeah, there's ways you can donate later on. If you come back to this, I'll put some donations up. Put some links up. Later on, come. Water is life. Water is love. Hey Eli, thanks for joining. Guys, please ignore the trolls. When you put more wood on a fire, it burns longer. Unfortunately, their hearts are closed right now. The best thing we can do right now is just offer them love, offer them understanding, and hope that their hearts will open up and share that love. Maybe they haven't seen love in their life. Maybe they haven't had the opportunity to experience what love is. Maybe they don't love themselves and haven't discovered how to do that because they're so misguided by the system. They're still chasing after money, after possessions, looking for happiness. And they haven't found out that happiness can never be found outside. It's only ever found inside. Thank you so much, Dee. You see, the system's wrong in my opinion. At school they teach you figures and facts. What we really need to do is wind that clock back. Look at the way the old nations all over the world lived. Because they lived in nature and they never had depression. They didn't suffer from things like depression. We create that by putting ourselves in a concrete jungle, by chasing after green paper, by chasing after things that we think are going to make us happy. And you know, we never ever find happiness anywhere except inside ourselves. Right now you'll see someone stepped right up to just stand peacefully. Oh, sorry, it's really hard to focus. This wind is brutal right now. They've stepped forward to talk. One person. I do have some good news for you guys. Hopefully tomorrow I'll have some equipment that will make this a lot easier. So that everyone the other night that sent me money to cover my data and wanted to reach out and do something personal for me, what that's been done with is that money's gone straight back into being able to show you guys an even better picture of what's going on here. So thank you for doing that, everyone who did. Vultures of culture preying on all our friends, as a famous line in a song goes, indeed. It's very interesting we're doing this with pipelines at the time when the oil demand is at its lowest. We don't need more pipelines. If something's got a low demand and a low price, then why are we laying more black snakes in the ground? We need to find another way. Stop raping Mother Earth. Good question. Where is the president? Where is the mainstream media? Are they stood here on this hill? They're not stood here on this hill showing this. You'll hear the story in the mainstream media, I'm sure. Unfortunately, the problem is the story you hear in the mainstream media isn't the story that's happening here. And you know why that is? I'll tell you why. Because the mainstream media is funded by the very people that fund the pipeline. Those news outlets. It's all about money, and the money's all linked together. Even NPR is supported by gas companies. So some of their funding, which is a public radio, comes in from corporations. So even the ones that you think are meant to be telling the real truth, have a look where their funding comes from. Thank you for joining, if you're joining just now. Thank you, Blackfoot Nation, for your kind words. This is a peaceful, prayerful gathering of our female, unarmed border protectors. As you see, they are the people who are stood on this bridge right now. The same people who were targeted with the non-lethal rounds the other night. Remember today Sophie Walensky, remember today Suzie. They're still in hospital. Their lives are never going to be the same. So everyone sat at home today, say a prayer for those people. If you don't believe in Creator, you don't believe in God, if you're atheist, then just sit and keep them in your thoughts. Whatever you can do. Because these are peaceful people being treated like combat soldiers. I've spoken to people that have been in combat, and the injury they saw with Sophie Walensky that night is as horrific as some of the injuries they'd seen over in Iraq. The only difference is in Iraq there are guns and weapons on both sides. Here, there are no weapons. Same as the thing with Iraq though. What were they fighting over? Again, they were fighting over oil and profit. That's why the veterans are stepping up. That's why the veterans who used to fight and support the country and lay their life down to protect this country, many of them are coming to Standing Rock because they are unhappy about what they're seeing, and they've stepped to the other side. Imagine how hard that is to do when you've pledged allegiance to protect a country, you've been a veteran, you've been in combat, and now you're standing against the very people that one time you were stood with, because they're being used to brutalize peaceful border protectors who are unarmed. I know I'm seeing some Facebook messages coming, guys. Unfortunately, this time I can't reply to you. If you are Facebook messaging me, please only Facebook message me if you have something important, vital information I need, donations coming to camp that you can help with. If it's just to thank me for being a hero, please don't. The biggest thanks you can give me is to share this. Share this and talk about it. Tell that story about the grandkids. That's a powerful story. Ask them. Ask them where they want to be, which side of the fence they want to be on. You can either be part of the solution or part of the problem. That's the two choices. When the ramifications of this play out over the upcoming years, when you're sat around your family table and you're having those conversations, what conversation do you want to be having with your kids, your grandkids? What story do your grandkids want to be telling their grandkids about their great-great-great-great-great-grandparents when there was this changing point in the world? That's what you need to decide. Honor our treaties. I don't know where you get a frozen feed. I'm still running. I'm still getting comments. To the people just coming in that want to battle in the comments with the people who are negative, please just let that go by. It's like if you see garbage, you can choose to pick it up and then you hold on to garbage, or you can choose to let it float on by and that garbage isn't part of you. Don't get drawn into the comments by the trolls. Stay peaceful. The biggest thing you can do is offer to give them a hug and send them love. They haven't had enough love in their life. They don't know what true love is. Maybe help open their hearts so we can solve this problem. Please stay peaceful and polite and unify within the comments. One love, one life. It is up to us. Right now we're the media. I'll show you on this hill in a minute who stood here, and you're not going to see big news cameras. You're not going to see NBC. You're not going to see ABC. NBC, if you're watching this, you have permission, remember, to share my live streams. Reuters, you have the same. Are you doing that? Are you showing the real story? Or are you choosing to show the bits that are exciting and the bits that are controversial? NBC, you did a beautiful thing online the other day, 49 seconds, showing the true story of Sunday night, Monday morning. I encourage you to do that on your mainstream. That was on your online stream. Let's get it mainstream. They're being given permission to pray as long as they want, assemble as long as they want, as long as they're on the south side of the bridge right now. I'm not understanding what difference the south side of the bridge makes. It makes absolutely no difference whatsoever. I am by reiterating what is said, I'm reiterating what's said by both sides so you understand what's going on. I'm not casting opinion on what's said, or I'm not making a story. I'm just simply repeating what's said as I hear it. Now what you'll actually see right now is a lot of the women are gradually walking away. This isn't about confrontation. This is about peacefully going and praying, having that right to be able to go and do that, keeping this peaceful and prayerful. Please do invite your entire friends list. Anyone who's watching this right now, if you haven't already done so, subscribe to my live feeds. Also, check out Collective Evolution. I am going to be giving some daily reporting for those guys. They have a big following. It's an easy way to find. They're a conscious media collective they're putting together of people like the Young Turks, people like Unify, the people that are getting this true story out. The only reason I'm live streaming is I was in camp, I saw people leaving and I ran up this hill to come and see what was happening. When you're in camp, you don't always know what's going on. It's a huge camp, there's 10,000 people, everyone is individuals. So when you refer to this as a group, it's really hard to do. Everyone's here as a water protector, but everyone is here also as an individual. So when people in the comments talk about what they do, what that group does, there is no group. Everyone's an individual water protector, standing up for what they believe in the way that they believe it to be correct. And the ethos of the camp is prayerful and peaceful. Yeah, they are indeed praying down there. This is a prayer circle for the women of the 400 nations. Excuse me, sorry. Private property on treaty land, that's a really interesting question that over the upcoming days I'm sure you guys are going to be able to see. Your 2-year-old daughter who's having surgery on the 6th of December, please send her love and a speedy recovery from me. It's a question about if you're asked to move, why don't you move? This is a personal opinion. This is just a personal opinion as me as an individual. But if there's no valid reason to move, then why would you move? Because if you move without a valid reason once, then you continue to just be pushed further and further and further without any valid reason to do it. There's no reason to back down when you're simply standing being prayerful, unconfrontational, peaceful, unarmed. That's my personal opinion. Again, for anyone just joining, this is a live stream from just above the 1806 blockade outside of Oceti Sakowin, and this is the women of the 400 tribes in a peaceful prayer circle. They're unarmed water protectors standing up to defend the sacred, to defend the water, to stand up for the lands that are being stolen, the indigenous way of life that is being looked down upon, the indigenous people who are being treated as less than human and who are unable to follow their own beliefs, unable to follow their own way of life, who are marginalized and brutalized every day in their lives and have been for hundreds of years. No, but if it's not on a leash, I wouldn't worry about it. Hey Ian, how are you doing? Thank you for joining. Say hi to my cousin, Esther Tweedy. Guys, Esther Tweedy is an amazing lady. So Esther, who just joined this feed, is from Iowa. Now, if you guys know anything about this pipeline, no, it also runs through Iowa. Her brother's farm in Iowa, the Dakota Access Pipeline, actually called eminent domain there. They offered a lot of money to take the pipeline through the farm. They refused. So then eminent domain was pulled. Now, eminent domain is supposed to be for governments. It's not supposed to be for corporations. And what happened was they fought it so hard that even with the eminent domain that was going to go through the family forest that had been there for years, they forced them to spend hundreds of thousands more to lay the pipe underneath the trees and keep the trees intact. So it was a small victory. But Esther Tweedy was stood side by side with me. I think Esther, if I get this wrong, please don't be mad at me. I think she's in her 80s, if I remember rightly. There was also another lady in Iowa who is a widow, and they offered her more money than she had ever seen in her life before to have the pipeline come through her property. And her exact response was, "You cannot buy my love." So they called eminent domain, and they put it through there anyway. That lady was in her 90s. There was another lady down there who was arrested on her own property for blocking DAPL workers' trucks with pipes coming onto the property. It was her property, but she was arrested there because of eminent domain for the pipeline. So guys, the way this pipeline is being put in itself is terrible. Eminent domain is not supposed to be used, at the best of my understanding, for corporations. As I understand it, police forces are not supposed to be protecting corporations. They're supposed to be protecting the people. Again, this is just my personal opinion. I speak for myself and no one else. Yeah, if anyone ever asks if you want to send me anything, if you want to send me some organic honey and stuff to knock out colds while I'm here for the winter, that would always be gratefully accepted. That would be very useful up here at camp. And there are many ways to send stuff to camp. If you go to Oceti Sakowin Camp.org, you'll find information there. If you're a medic and you're watching the atrocities the other night and you want to step up and you want to help, you can go to medichealercouncil.com. That's medichealercouncil.com. You can register to volunteer and come to camp and take care of the water protectors who are being brutalized. You can also come here as a wellness person for massage. You can come here to help with counseling of the people who are suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder from the atrocities they've seen. I've met friends that I've seen at festivals who are full of energy, walking around here like empty shells. This isn't a combat zone. People shouldn't have to feel this way. There was a girl from the Thanksgiving event in Mandan, the real Thanksgiving, the Forgiveness Day. She had come, I think she was 25 years old, and we shared the vehicle on the way back after she had seen how the police were getting us back to our vehicles, the threats of arrest for stepping on a driveway, all the things that you saw on the live stream. She saw them call me out by name, telling me that they knew who I was. She was sat in the car next to me, and I could feel how lost and how stunned and how confused she was. She had come here to stand as a peaceful water protector, and she had never seen police with non-lethal rounds and rifles feet away from her before, people with billy clubs, huge cans of mace. And that shook her up. So it's not... If you're not here, it's so hard to even explain to you how this makes you feel. Let me ask you a question. When it's the people who are supposed to be protecting you, are the ones calling you out by name, trying to intimidate you, who do you go to for help? If anyone has a good answer, please send me a private message. If you can't be here, you can pray where you are. You can share these live feeds. There's 7,500 of you with me right now. If you all share this, we can make this reach 1 million people. I know there's no tear gas right now. I know there's nothing crazy exciting going on. But what you're watching is what this is about. You're watching a peaceful, prayerful vigil with women from 400 nations. This is the first time in the history of the world that 400 nations have come together in peace, in unity, to stand up for their human rights. So if that's not interesting enough for you all to share, for you all to come and watch, then maybe you ought to look deep inside your hearts and ask yourselves some serious questions about life, about love, about how you're living, and about how you can be part of this when you're not here, what you can do outside of here. Maybe it's a simple thing today that everyone you see you smile at, and you just send a wave of smiles around wherever you are. Maybe you hold the door open for someone. Maybe you buy a coffee for the person in front of you. Just random acts of kindness for strangers, for people that you don't know. Because that's how we're going to change this. We're going to burn away all hate by replacing it with love and acceptance. We're going to get rid of fear. Because fear is simply an absence of love. As you'll see right now, these women are peacefully walking away under their own decision, having come to the bridge, to the blockade, to stand in prayer, to stand in peace, and they're starting to slowly walk away because that's what they're choosing to do. Now, I am going to mention to you right now that, I'm holding a phone right now. My hands are literally freezing. And these people are down there, stood in the wind, stood down there. It's cold here. These weather conditions are not pleasant. This isn't coming here to celebrate. This isn't coming here to party. I've heard rumours that people are talking about protectors being paid to be here. That's the funniest rumour I've ever heard. No one's paying anyone to be here. These people are giving up jobs. I've spoken to people down at Iowa who gave up schooling, who gave up a job to come and stand as a water protector. I know people who have flown from England. I know people who have flown from New Zealand at huge personal cost to come and stand here. So those stories about people being played is just laughable. Amazingly laughable. Just shows how uneducated some of the people who are trying to disrupt what is going on here truly are. So if you don't know what's going on, educate yourself. If you don't understand what's supporting this pipeline, go ahead. Go ahead and do some research on energy transfer partners. Go ahead and look and see who's doing the banking. Because you know what, if every single person who was watching this today went and closed their bank accounts with all the banks that were funding this through energy transfer partners, you can find that information very easily. Wells Fargo, US Bank, Citibank, I can't remember the rest, sorry. But go research that. If you all pulled your money out today, then money talks. That's unfortunately how this is. That's what's talking right now. That's why those officers over there are stood militarized against peaceful, prayerful, armed water protectors. So if you guys go ahead and pull your money out of the bank, do what they're doing in Norway. Norway had 2 banks that were supporting the Dakota Access Pipeline. Guess what? Those 2 banks have now pulled out of supporting it. I just got that. I saw one the other day and another one today. So as you're watching, this was the march led by the 400 nations of women, and they're walking back from the bridge as they've carried out their peaceful, prayerful vigil. I'm just showing you them wandering back from there under their own steam, because they've decided to. And what you'll see that's also beautiful, I should be able to show you as they come past. And I'm sorry, my hands are really cold, so this phone is being a bit of a pain to zoom in and out, and the wind isn't helping either. You watch these women coming back down. It doesn't want to focus, I apologise. There you go. You'll actually see some of them picking up trash as they go, walking lightly on this earth, leaving this place better than they found it. Yeah, Google Wells Fargo, Royal Bank of Scotland. You'll hear traditional songs being sung as they go back to camp. You know what I'm going to do, guys, at the risk of losing this feed, is I'm going to wander down there and see if I can get closer. If I lose this feed, I'm going to apologise to you guys now, but as you'll see, just so you see, the bridge is totally clearing out. You have the guys that were there to protect the females and to stand in front as protection coming back as well. So I'll see if I can get closer. We might lose this feed as we go down the hill though. If we do, I apologise. It's also rather bumpy going down this hill, but we'll try. So as I'm running down this hill, if you suddenly see this picture go, it's probably because I've fallen on my face, but don't worry, I bounce quite well. Humour's always good. We try and use humour in a lot of things. So right now, what you're seeing now is you're seeing everyone walking back to camp peacefully. My connection's weak down here. If you lose me, guys, I apologize. Thank you. Thank you. So as you see the signs that are coming past, I want to show you this. Look at these signs. It's amazing. Thank you. Thank you, warriors. That was beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. And then as you'll notice, these are people from all walks of life. These are all ages. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I do have a
As you see, these are all relations, these are all nations, these are all generations. I want you to notice what they have in their hands. Absolutely nothing. There are no weapons. These are peaceful, prayerful water protectors. Thank you for what you're doing, guys. Girls. Guys is an English term. As you'll see, once again, if you're just joining, this was the women of 400 nations coming together for a peaceful, prayerful, unarmed gathering at the blockade on 1806, where those brutalities and mutilation happened the other night.
Water is life, man.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing the story.
You're very, very welcome. I'm glad I can be here to do it.
Do your videos. Thank you.
You're very welcome. So as you see, these are peaceful, unarmed water protectors once again. This time they're walking straight back to camp. There's no water cannons, no grenades. They're linked arms. As you see, these are people from all nations. These are all relations.
Hello, brother.
Hey.
Thank you.
See, these are unarmed water protectors again, peacefully praying.
Thank you.
Do you want to say anything? You're more than welcome to. You've got about 9,000 people watching right now. Do you guys want to say anything about what you were doing?
Oh yeah, well we were honoring the women that are standing in the camp by honoring the white buffalo camp type women who brought the sacred ceremonies to us, and we were showing our strength in unity,
And in prayer and love. That's how we're coming with prayers and with love, just to protect us, protect the land, protect everyone. The waters are in danger here, everywhere. And water truly is life. First time that there's ever been a gathering like this. We're going to do it this time. We're going to get respect for the people. This is going to help everyone. This is Buffalo Calf Women. This march has never been done like this before. The amount of people. We have Sundance every year. Maybe 1,000 people come. This means that we're finally going to start to grow, and our children are going to have a life. Our 7 generations will be healthy and happy.
Oh.
And we will all be one.
Where are you from?
Colorado.
Colorado. And where's the Sundance?
Sundance is in Colorado.
Whereabouts?
Paiute National Grasslands.
Paiute National Grasslands, in which month, if people are
The
interested?
end of July, beginning of August.
Okay.
It's just a little bit every year.
Perfect. Well, I'm sure you'll have a lot of people. Everyone's coming together on this. If to all the people that are watching right now, what would you say to them if they can't be here? What can they do to help support this and to make a change in the world so that this continued pattern of atrocities and genocide stops and we can move forward in a peaceful?
One win 25 years ago. Mario Cuomo and the Quebec government wanted to build a hydroelectric plant in James Bay. They wanted to bring the water down the East Coast to New York. They said for electric. It was enough for a hairdryer. Their purpose
was potable water. So we attacked the stockholders, we attacked the banks that support them. That is how we overturn. We need to, you can step up on your computer, on your cell phone, you find out the banks, it's a search on the internet, you find out who supports the pipeline and the oil company. You take their money, you win.
That's the head of the snake, is all of the investors in this pipeline. So that's what we have to attack for this. And I know that it's been going on around the country. But I did want to say one thing, and I hope that you've noticed it while you're here. This is an old Lakota story that I heard years ago. So in the beginning times, we were all indigenous. Everybody on the earth was indigenous. And they were, you know, the black, the red, the yellow, the white. And the Creator came down. And he said, we need to have a meeting. So let's gather around, all the nations come together. So we did. And he said, you have to take care of this beautiful earth that I've given to you, and all of the elements that you've all given. And he said, so to the black nation, I give you the covenant of protecting the water. To the red nation, I give you the covenant of honoring and taking care of protecting the earth. To the yellow nation, your covenant is to protect the air. And to the white nation, your covenant is to protect the fire. So, you know, as I grew up, I loved to read. And it's true, if you've read any of the stories about African ceremony, water is real prevalent. It's in everybody's ceremony, but they use it in a different and a special way. And so the black water is theirs, and they're supposed to protect it. So when I went out on an action, and we went down the line to these men, these police, who were shaking hands. The last two all by themselves were black men. And I stopped and I said, bless you. I said, what you went to. And by the way, did you know that you should have taken some water? And they looked at me and they got shocked, but they smiled. I was surprised. And so then, so we were all given these covenants. And then the white nation broke started breaking their covenant by inventing things that fire could be used for. First, of course, was weapons. You know, they say, I've heard tell from people who work in horseshoes, the horseshoes were the first thing. You put them on horses, you can chase your enemies further over land that the horses couldn't go on. So, you know, and then they rear up and they could hit people in the head with their shoes and stuff. Anyway, so what happened was then they found these other cool things. So all the nations said, look what they're doing over there. We're supposed to, see, the Creator said, everybody you have to help each other stay in balance, because that's what creates the balance. So they said, look at those people over there. Look, they're misusing the fire. But wait a minute, that was pretty cool, right? So nobody paid attention. Nobody went over and said, you're misusing the fire. You're supposed to protect it and use it correctly. So we're all responsible. Every single person from every nation is responsible for the condition that the world is in today. And if you look around now, you can see every nation is represented here. So we'll come back together, and we're going to bring our covenants back into balance and restore harmony.
We pray north, south, east, west, red, yellow, black, white. If it's 4 directions are 7 directions, are purple to self, green for the sky.
No, green for the
green for the grass.
Well, we always go. You have to do it in order. You have to always do it in order.
Please.
That's what I was taught. Whenever you make your ties, whenever you buy your material, keep everything in order, because black is to the west, and that's where the thunder beings live.
Black is to the west, that's where thunder beings live.
Yes. And red is to the north.
Red is to the north.
And that's to honor the Buffalo Nation.
That's to honor the Buffalo Nation.
They brought us out from Wind Cave when the waters receded. And then east is the Elk Nation, and that's the place of women's power.
East is the place of women's power, or the Elk Nation.
So anytime you hear of an elk dreamer, it's a man who plays the flute and can charm women with that. They call them elk dreamers. and then the white is the Wamakash or Eagle Nation, and I always say Wamakash Khan. That's everything else. You know, that's all the little ants and the beetles and the bees and all that stuff. So, you always say black, red, yellow, white, and then blue, and then green, and then if the spiritual leader tells you to make a certain color, you make a certain color. And all spiritual leaders are different, you know, because they run ceremony according to their vision. So you'll never go to a ceremony that's run exactly the same way, but the protocol is always observed. But it goes according to your vision of the spiritual.
So the colors, just to get that right, was black, white,
Red,
black, red, yellow, white,
darkest to lightest.
green,
No,
blue,
then green.
green,
Yeah.
and then cell.
Yeah.
So that's the 7 directions. Okay. I'm learning here just like you are, guys. It's amazing to have this opportunity.
Where are you from?
I was born just outside of London, Letchworth in Hertfordshire.
Oh.
I've been over in the States for 10 years now. Live in the Midwest. I'm not going to say exactly where. And I'm home free, job free. I just came here just as a water protector, and then on Sunday night I was live streaming the atrocities on the Hill, and it got shared by Bernie Sanders and Jill Stein and had 4.5 million views. So it went out across the news networks. So now you've got 6,000 people watching this live all across the world. New Zealand.
We're going to
Hello, world.
Hello, world.
Hello from Standing Rock, and thank you so much for standing with us and helping us protect the environment.
and each other.
Yeah.
We're going to do it this time. It's I've never seen a gathering like this in all our years,
No.
And it's going to include everyone, and everyone who is against us will benefit and will come together. That's our future, so we don't lose this world. We have people, Jill Stein, we have Bernie, we have people that are coming up that will fight the new regime that's come in, and we will win.
And we're not just about fighting or being against something, we're about being for living.
That's such a valid point about not being against things, but whatever you put your energy into grows. So if you put your energy into what you're against, that grows. If you put your energy into what you're for, so if you believe in peace, you're for peace, you're not against war. So it's a very subtle difference, but it's huge when it comes to the intention.
Yeah, and I believe that's why we're here in Standing Rock with the Lakota people. You know, it's about being for the earth, for each other, for everyone, and helping each other.
Where are you from yourself?
Way of life than the system that we've been used to.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
We've been taught for years that it's, you know, dog eat dog, you know, survival of the fittest. And I mean, there's an element of truth to that, but it's really the biggest truth is living in balance with everything, with each other in love. And that's the biggest truth. That's been downplayed and missed, and that's what needs to come forward, and that's what is coming forward. Where are you from, Michigan? I'm from Flint, Michigan. From
Flint, Michigan. So you know all about water problems then.
Yeah. Here, water's being jeopardized all over, and we need to protect it.
Thank you.
Life.
Fight for us.
Well, no, thank you for stopping and
Follow us.
talking.
Walk with us.
Wow, I've just been handed a very special piece of protection. Thank you.
name?
Kevin.
Kevin.
Kevin Gilbert.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Say your name.
Oh, Christania.
Christinia
Sichangu Lakota from the Rosebud Reservation.
from the Rosebud Reservation. Wow. I read about that a little bit in a book all about Wounded Knee that I saw. I think it was called The Voices of Wounded Knee.
Oh, that's
It was-
Pine Ridge.
So that was Pine Ridge, but Rosebud was mentioned in the introduction there as well.
We have
past the rope line, please.
We're just being asked to move a little bit further back.
Stay right there. I'll tackle you.
You see, as I was telling you, we have the beautiful security as well with these who were standing protecting the 400 nations for their peaceful, prayerful walk.
1 second. I've got a telephoto on here.
All right, we're good now. We can kind of stop. So, yeah, you want me to step out? Oh, Just step out of the way so they can have a portrait right now. It's amazing. This is all the ways we can get this story out. So, what was your name, sorry?
Kelly.
Kelly?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Kelly.
Thank you. And how do we follow you?
Kevin Gilbert, 2 T's. You'll find me as soon as you type in Kevin and G, I think.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
Colorado.
Thank you.
Casey Masterson.
Thank you, KC. Stay safe.
I'm here.
I'm from the Midwest, but originally just outside of London. But I'm from all over right now.
On Facebook, we would look.
It'll say Omaha, yeah, just Kevin Gilbert with 2 T's and you'll find me.
Thank you, Kevin.
You're very welcome, thank you.
Huge follower. Love what you're doing, brother.
Thank you.
What's that beautiful soul?
I'm good, how are you, sis?
Protecting the water.
You want to speak a little bit? You got about 6,500 people. What were you doing today?
I am a fan, Kevin, by the way.
Yeah, it's not about me, so talk about what you were doing here if you would, please.
I love my people.
Who are your people?
My people is you, everybody. We are brothers and sisters, no matter what language you speak, no matter what color you are, we are all one, just like the water and the rivers, they all unite, so we must be strong.
Where are you from?
Keep praying, Venezuela.
Venezuela. How long have you been here?
Well, I do live in Wisconsin. I am a 3rd generation indigenous from Venezuela. And then I heard the cry, and that's all I need.
Thank you.
That's all I need. So I love you guys. Keep pushing, keep sharing, let the world hear what's going on here. We need you. Love you guys.
Thank you. So I'm just going to keep streaming as I walk back up this road to camp, as you can kind of just see what this is like. I may lose you guys. I've got some equipment coming for all you guys talking about microphones. Just so you know, I'm not a journalist. I'm just an individual, just like you, who was sat at home watching this, hearing about this, and I came here, I turned my phone on and I streamed what happened, and 4.5 million people decided to watch it. So I don't have microphones, I have a phone. I've got equipment coming, I've got people crying out to help me out. So if people have got ideas with microphones and stuff to make this easier, and you have the wherewithal, as I said, the connection's getting weak, so if I go in and out as I'm walking back to camp, it's no surprise. If you want to hit me up with a private message, if you have the ability to send me sound equipment, please do so. Please don't send me private messages to call me a hero or to thank me. Just share my things and get this message out to the world. That's the biggest thanks we can have. Thank you for joining from all over the world. Check back later, I'm going to be doing an exclusive live stream regarding Red Fawn, who's sat in jail right now. Tomorrow there's going to be a World Day of Action where everyone wears red to remember Red Fawn. It's a fundraiser for a $100,000 bail that she's facing. And I'm going to be telling that story a lot better with someone from the International Indigenous Youth Council later on. So now you'll see as you just go back to camp, you'll see the size of this place. Now all these stories you hear about these violent protesters that are rioting, let me ask you, you watched this morning, how could anyone use that kind of force, that kind of violence against those Native American elders, against those women from 400 nations? Those are the same people that were stood the other night being hit by those water cannons, brutalized by those non-lethal rubber bullets that have caused one person to maybe lose the sight in their right eye. Attacked with those concussion grenades, which has left one 20-year-old girl having 6 and 8 hour operations to have muscle taken from her back to try and repair the hole in her arm, facing up to 20 operations, may still lose her arm. All the people that have been traumatized by what they've seen, by the way they've been treated, all the people that fought hypothermia. Now you tell me, look at this camp. Where's the violence? Where do you see the weapons? That story that comes out, that bridge you were looking at, did that look like a bridge that had been set on fire? Did that look like a bridge that was full of burnt out vehicles? Or do you think maybe the mainstream media are picking up the smallest little details and twisting it because they're paid by the very people who are putting this pipeline in? Follow the money, guys, that's what I'll tell you. Keep following that money. And if you're part of the problem by having your money in the banks that are supporting the Dakota Access Pipeline, pull that money out of those banks. If everyone pulled their money out of Wells Fargo, everyone pulled their money out of US Bank, Citibank, and all those other places, you know what would happen? Those guys would decide that it wasn't worth investing in an energy transfer partners because they were losing too much money by doing it. It's already happened. Royal Bank of Scotland in England. Scotland, pull your money out of Royal Bank of Scotland. You know what they did in Norway? They pulled the money out of the Norwegian banks that were supporting the pipeline. Guess what happened? Those two Norwegian banks pulled out of supporting the pipeline. Unfortunately, money's what talks in the world, but you all have money and you all have it banked. You can choose who you bank with. You can also phone those banks if you don't bank with them and let them know what you think about the fact that they're using their money and investing in the pipeline. Tie up their phone lines all day. Because the more awkward you make their life in a peaceful, loving manner, the quicker they'll stop supporting things like this. The quicker we can all get back to our lives. These people here have lives. These people here have traditions that they want to follow. These people don't want to be marginalized and brutalized. They want to have positive stories going out in the media. Yeah, that's right, history does repeat itself unless you step up and do something different, and this is different. This is the first time 400 nations have come together in peace and unity to stand together to protect the sacred water, to defend the sacred lands, to make sure that your grandchildren and your grandchildren's children have an earth that is not polluted. They have water where they can fish. So you guys, whether you're here or not, you can pray. You can take money out of the banks, you can share this message, you can share this feed, you can all do something. You can all stand up and make a difference. You'll see still cars pouring into this camp. Bear in mind this is Sunday, this is the end of the holiday. People are still rolling in here. Look at the size of this place. This is what you do when you're sat at home by sharing these feeds. As I go in, I'm just going to show you some of the signs so I don't get run down. Okay, I'm going to walk the other side of it. So, from Palestine to Standing Rock, we are united. I met people from Palestine. You see, water is life. You see, coming down in here, for the safety of the people in camp, your vehicles are subject to search to make sure that people aren't coming here with ill intentions. We orientate people, there's general meetings here. Instructions on how to keep this safe. You see, there's no alcohol beyond this point. This is peaceful, prayerful, drug-free, alcohol-free, weapon-free camp. We'll see how long we can keep live streaming as we go for a little walk. This is called Flag Row. You're going to see flags from all the nations. You're going to see these signs, water is life. We stand together. Showing you all these different flags that are flying. We stand with Standing Rock. This says, I wasn't there to protect on 1838, but I'm here now. Water is life. Stand up with Standing Rock. This is handprints from all North Carolina. Hands all in with Standing Rock. Signed by people that either can't be here or have been here. This is the Tolwan Nation supporting Standing Rock. Water is life. Springfield, Missouri supports the stand. Protect the water, preserve the land. Dakota access needs to stop. Together we stand with Standing Rock. I want to show you this artwork. This is incredible. Shenandoah Valley Echoes, mnwiconi. Protect our water, protect life. Mums across America. I mean, as we walk down, these are all flags. This is Anisha Middle School. Stands with Standing Rock. Says, we support you. Thank you. Miwish, Alicia. This is all signed by the children. This is signed by their teacher. This is the BSU Standing Rock Solidarity Statement. I recognize that water is one of the most precious resources and needs to be protected above all else. I oppose the construction of the Dakota Access Pipeline on native lands and through the Missouri River because it poses an imminent threat to the vital resources and violates the basic human rights of First Nations people. I acknowledge the history of violence and oppression against Indigenous people in our country and recognize the actions at Standing Rock as this continuation of this legacy of abuse. It has the circles of wellness, social, economic, into sustainability. I, a Bemidji State University student, stand in solidarity with Standing Rock to fight and protect sacred land and water source.
We're looking for the water truck.
This is South Fork in Band. As you can see, these are nations from everywhere.
Yeah, Sitting Bull is banging on it, and it says water is life.
You see how long this has been supporting. This is international intervention. I can't even see where from. That's how long it's been here. Look at this. They've been since the start. This one is about Leonard Peltier, about freeing him. I have to be careful not to film the sacred fire, but I can show you a couple of things here. I can show you. Keep it in the ground. Break free from fossil fuels. Can also show you the equipment that's back here. Arrowhead Engineering, local civil engineers, 100% owned. Bringing culture to construction. This is a solar panel charging unit. Because I'm live streaming on camp, I have to be very careful not to show people without. But again, this is another sign. We stand with Standing Rock, Sioux Nation. Jacob, I stand with Standing Rock. Water is life. Thank you, Standing Rock. As you just continue to walk down through camp,
All right, relatives, we're looking for a ride east.
you're going to continue to see
Going somewhere to nowhere.
I think you can see these flags.
Let this young man know that free the car.
This is the Red Run First Nation, warriors for the people. Does anyone here mind if I live stream to show the world the kind of things that are coming in and that they're doing? Does anyone object?
Help them out. You like to eat at Rose's Kitchen.
So this right here is the donations tent. You'll see these people that are here just hard working, putting out all these amazing donations that are coming in to protect people.
Real good.
It's full of, one tent's full of shoes, full of clothing. Is it right to just duck under here? I don't know how long my service is going to go. It's kind of crazy, it's still working, I'm blessed today. You see, this is full of hats and scarves and gloves to keep people protected. This is what's happening. This is what you guys are doing by sending in these donations. As you see, signs everywhere. Water is life. No dapple. Hey. I'm probably going to turn the live stream off because not everyone wants to be live streamed and it's starting to lose. But if you just look down here, you just see all the flags. I can't believe I'm actually able to live stream right now all the way from the bridge. It's incredible. I'll try and show you. You guys were asking about some of the other things that have been put up. I'll try and take you to one of the kitchens. If I lose you, I apologize. But you're going to see some of the structures here. You're going to see I can't show you the sacred fire, but I can show you the wood donations and these people that work so hard to make sure the fires are kept burning. So you'll see right there, that's the piles of wood. These people are going ahead and chopping this wood. You see this composting? Hi. Oh, sorry. You see this compost here? To treat the earth kindly. I'm going to walk you up to, you guys were asking about something to do with the funding. So I'm going to walk you up to one of the teepees that was put up by some of the funding that's come in. I'm going to show you because this was made actually here by a team of people, road dwellers. And then I'm going to end the live stream because I don't want to offend anyone. But this is here, is what the funding's done. This is a shared space for women to keep them safe. I'm going to try and walk back up this hill towards media. You just see some more of the structures here as you walk through time. See another pile of wood. Someone's working hard to break this wood up. So guys, appreciate all of you that's joined. Thank you all for joining. Please keep sharing this. I gave you a little walk through camp. I didn't think I was going to be able to do that. It's pretty incredible. Spirit has obviously blessed us today to show you this for a reason. To arrest those rumors about weapons, about drugs, about alcohol, about violence. I just walked you through camp. How violent does this place, how unsafe does this place look to you? Or do you just see a whole community coming together, standing up for what they believe in? Thanks for joining, guys. Have a beautiful day. Yeah, I'm going to go and hydrate, and I'm going to go ahead and get out the cold for a little bit. Take care. Love you guys. Please share this. Please draw the money out the banks that are supporting the Dakota Access Pipeline. Please sit and remember the water protectors who are in hospital right now. Please burn some sage. And please let's look for a new way and keep those fossil fuels in the ground. Thank you guys. Bye bye.